I'm liking this American Pope.
American Pope.
Take me to Philly. I want to eat
cheesesteak.
Take me to Chicago. I want to see Wrigley.
Oh, I really want to.
Drink beers and vape with you.
Yeah, drink beers and vape with you. I'm liking this American Pope. American Pope. It's the World War Champion sound. Yeah, Vatican, we're about to get down. Get down. Who's the number one in the world right now? Just touched down
You're
in.
just doing the rap.
But that's the part. Yeah. No, I changed the lyrics.
Okay, I'm listening.
You didn't listen?
You just said, here's the number one Vatican sound. That's the only lyric you
No, I said it's the World War Champion sound, which is what America is. World War Champion, won 2 world wars.
But isn't that what Kanye said?
No, he says it's the number one champion sound.
Oh, it's the...
Yeah, Estelle, we're about to
sorry.
get down. Get down. Who's the number one in the world right now? Just touched down in London town. So I changed like a bunch of lyrics. And you didn't let me...
2.
No, 3. But like, there's not a lot to work with there.
My favorite lyric that you did was... reluctantly.
Because most of these Cardinals can't fuck with me. There's a part in that rap where he goes, "Tell the promoter we need more seats. We just sold out all the floor seats." So I was gonna say, "Tell the usher we need more seats. Just sold out all the pew." Should I say pew seats? I don't know. Whatever. We're trying. Should we make that a video?
Yeah.
Or is it too late?
No, I don't think it's too late. It was Vibs. He texted me that.
Some other guy had the idea.
Jeffrey
Vibbery is his phone.
Vibbert.
Is his actual last name Vibbert?
I believe it is.
It's crazy.
For real?
He texted me that, and then anyways.
He had the idea.
We'll cut that so he doesn't get the credit.
Yeah. We're trying to silence him, honestly. This man had the idea.
And men do that to women all the time.
Yeah.
That's
totally fair.
Yeah.
So
I'm doing it to another man, so it's okay.
So welcome back to Other Things for Good. My name is Caroline.
Oh, I'm Chris Barnes.
And, of course, our lovely producer, Genevieve.
Yeah.
And we have so much to talk about.
We do have a lot.
Big week. We went to Medford.
Boston.
I was in a
horrible drive up.
Horrible.
We were
drive
late
up.
to the own show. It was kind of.
We were 30 minutes late to my own show.
Yep. Yeah.
But Deep Cuts was amazing.
But they were so chill.
We love it.
They were like, don't come at all. It's fine. Like they were like, there's a room full of people. Like I thought it was gonna be.
They literally were like, drive slower.
Yeah. No, like we showed up thinking it was not going to be a big deal. And then we opened the door and there's just a full room of people just sitting, waiting at an empty stage. There wasn't any entertainment for them whatsoever.
No, there was. I don't even know if there was music on.
No music on. They were just sitting there. I went right up, but the show was fantastic. Caroline did an amazing job.
Oh, thank you.
It was a great show.
Come see me on tour, 29th in Chicago, 30th in Toronto. But okay, I was thinking a lot about Shrek this week. And this is something I've thought about for years now. But as we all know, Chris Farley was originally supposed to play Shrek, but then he passed away.
R.I.P.
And when they asked about and you can actually look online and hear some of Chris Farley's line reads, and like they were like Shrek was a lot more vulnerable.
Yeah, it was kind of sad.
It was depressed.
You know what it is?
Depressiana.
It's depressing because Chris Farley is a lot more Shrek. He is in real life. He is Shrek. Like he is was kind of like an ogre in a way.
But he was just
he
was like sad. Like he was.
It was kind of.
And then when
touching.
he passed away, it was touching, and he did it in like his regular voice.
Mm-hmm.
And then when he passed away, they cast Mike Myers, which means that one day Mike Myers came into the studio with this crazy ass accent.
Yeah, that's right.
Unprompted.
Yeah.
And like just came in and was like, donkey!
Donkey!
And he just ran with it.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing in my swamp? And they were just like...
that was it. That's Shrek.
Yeah, okay.
That is Shrek.
But like, unprompted.
I gotta be honest. I hate to say this, but I kind of feel like it would...
God
Shrek
killed Chris Farley?
No, don't say that. But I kind of feel like Chris Farley's Shrek would not have hit as hard. I'm sorry. It would have been more touching, but it wouldn't have been as funny. And we wouldn't have the memes. It wouldn't have been, I hate to say it, wouldn't be as successful. It wouldn't have been.
They wouldn't have gotten a musical.
Donkey!
All those movies.
I actually saw Shrek the musical, I just realized.
In real life?
Broadway, yeah.
With Sutton Foster and Brian Darcy James?
I think I did, yeah.
I know it's today.
We got a new pope.
We got a new pope.
And he's
super
American.
Sick.
American pope.
Unbelievable.
I know. Also, what is that?
Eagle?
That's eagles? Oh, okay. I thought you were having a stroke for a second. Okay.
Nothing makes me want to sing the national anthem more than
That's right.
an American.
Yeah. America. Honestly, this guy kind of came out of nowhere.
Make the Vatican great again.
He's going to make the Vatican great again. Yeah. Okay. So did you hear that he has a brother? His name was Robert Prevost. He has a brother named Lou Prevost.
His
Prevost?
name's Robert. Why does he go by
Prevost?
Leo then?
When you
You
become
get
Pope,
to
you change
rename
your own name.
yourself.
You make a new name. You pick a name.
So was Pope Francis not Pope Francis?
His name wasn't Francis. He picked Francis when he became Pope.
They're like drag queens.
They are.
Yeah,
drag
they are
queens.
drag.
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
Catholic
That's his
drag
drag mother.
queens.
That's
Yeah.
his drag mother.
Exactly.
The dramatics of this whole process is like more dramatic than the Tony Awards. It's
Yes.
like more dramatic
Yes.
than RuPaul's Drag Race.
You're so
That's
right.
right.
It's kind of insane.
Yeah. And they picked this guy quickly, so you know he was chill. You know? He must have been. And also he was like not in all the poly markets like who was going to become the
He's an underdog.
He had like a 0.2% chance of becoming Pope, and yet they made him Pope, so he had to be the chillest guy.
Yeah, he had.
He definitely was very, very chill.
You don't think there was anything happening on behind the scenes?
No, I don't know. I think, but anyway, the Pope has a brother, and this brother is, he's been posting a lot of stuff on his Facebook, Caroline.
On his Facebook.
He has a Facebook. The Pope has a brother, and he's on Facebook. So this is his Facebook.
Oh.
That's him right there. That's a
he's the
classic. I
hot
mean, look at
brother.
this. Look at this boomer photo. He's not even looking at the camera, and he's just on a boat or a cruise or something.
Only 18 likes.
Yeah.
Only 100.
So, but go to the New York Post article. I want to read it. For
Imagine
everyone.
your brother
So-
became the Pope.
So this is the title of the article. Let me read it. The new Pope Leo brother shared a gross post calling Nancy Pelosi a drunk C-word.
So his brother's one on the left.
Yeah. So yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
take back saying he was the hotter.
No,
brother.
he's not the hotter one. The Pope's the hotter one. That's why he got elected, because you got to be hot to win stuff. One of Pope Leo's he has multiple brothers. Brothers put up a series of pro-Trump posts online and shared one that called Rep. Nancy Pelosi a drunk C-word before his sibling was elected Pope, according to the report. A cache of Facebook post from Louis Prevost, 73, indicate that the Pope's oldest sibling was an, what's that word?
Ardent. Like
Ardent.
he's a very
Ardent MAGA fan who has no love for Democrats, including former White House Speaker. In one lewd post, he reportedly shared a video of Pelosi speaking in 1996 with a caption, "These fucking liberals crying about tariffs is just unreal."
Oh my God.
Do you know that? I don't even know what he's saying there.
Do they know that there's
Just
a thing
listen to
called
what
video?
this drunk C-word has to say in the mid-'90s, long before her husband had Grindr dates. That's funny.
Wait, him knowing what Grindr is.
It's
is
also
awesome.
funny that in this photo is a photo with the cardinal before he got elected Pope with his brothers, and his obviously MAGA Facebook drunken brother is wearing a Hawaiian shirt to this it looks like very important Catholic meeting.
It looks like a black tie.
Yeah, he just got off a Carnival cruise.
Yeah.
So obviously
he put his pina colada down to take.
yeah, he
this
put his
photo.
pina colada down to take this photo. So let's keep going here.
There's no way he's not wearing flip flops.
Okay, here we go. Louis Prevost, a Florida resident, that's not surprising, has shared a meme that has a picture of a mental institution with the caption, "Where the woke live before the 70s."
Where the woke live.
All right, so I actually found his Facebook. You want to pull it up, Genevieve? Let's go back.
It doesn't have
It's
more.
open. It's like you can see. Keep going now. Let's find something juicy here. All right, here we go. He reshared this photo. Your child isn't trans. You're just a shitty parent.
And it's a young girl
with, like, blue hair.
crying.
It's a complete AI. Keep going. Where does it say, this is a picture of Statue of Liberty, and with the caption, "Where does it say, bring me the hostile freeloading assholes waving their own flags?" That's great. Now, I just think that this...
Is that a direct quote from Lady Liberty?
That's actually chiseled into Lady Liberty. It's on the tablet she's holding. What I love about this is that it just makes him so relatable.
Yeah.
Because we all have someone in our family that is just a menace on Facebook.
and they just can't stop on Facebook.
Yeah, and I think that's so, it's great that he has a brother who, is probably in QAnon and, isn't allowed to see his kids.
Yeah.
Multiple times a month,
A few DUIs.
A few Deweys, yeah. That's just so relatable, and I'm happy we finally have a pope that has just a red-pilled uncle who just can't get off Facebook and just posting crazy stuff.
Didn't get the vaccine.
An anti-vax uncle.
Everyone has an anti-vax.
Everyone has an anti-vax uncle, and it's good. Now I'm kind of I feel like I can relate to the
By the
pope.
way, that's the most American thing about
It's the
our
most
pope.
American thing
Is
about
an
the Pope,
anti-vax.
is that he has an uncle that posts that Nancy Pelosi is a demon. I like this Pope. You know, I can relate to this Pope.
I can relate to this Pope too.
You
Because
know?
he's American.
He has got a brother who's posting AI on Facebook.
No, like this Pope
Yeah.
has eaten a Hot Pocket.
He's in the Hot Pocket.
No other Pope gives Hot Pocket energy.
No.
Like, this Pope has listened to Bruce Springsteen.
Yeah, he's listened to Bruce Springsteen. He's definitely had a cigarette after a night out at the bar.
1,000,000%.
He's ripped a couple darts. He's probably packed a Zin. You know,
He's ordered Domino's.
This Pope's probably had a Four Loko.
Do you think that, like, when the Pope is in Italy and he's, like, eating, like, their pizza, he's like, oh, you guys don't even know about Domino's. Like, you guys don't even know.
Do you think when he's getting communion, he's like, I wish this was a Coors Light?
Yeah. Wait, American Pope is gonna change the communion to like Bud Light.
It's gonna be Bud Light and Zins.
And Zins.
Yeah. The body of Christ is gonna be a big Zin. That's what it's gonna be now. And then little shots of Fireball will be communion. Yeah. I like that though. I'm happy we're back up. This Pope is gonna he's gonna be tweeting about bets. He's gonna be putting out
sports betting apps.
He's gonna be like, I really think the Knicks are gonna pull through against the Celtics. Like that's gonna be good.
I bet he loves Bruce Willis movies.
Oh yeah.
I bet he
he loves Top Gun. This Pope loves Top Gun.
He loves
and
Top
then when
Gun.
the new Top Gun came out, he said, "Yeah, like finally, good movies are back."
Good movies are
Yeah,
back.
that's what he said. He got excited. He gets excited for dad movies like Ferrari or Ford vs Ferrari. That's a dad movie.
Yeah.
He's probably watched Saving Private Ryan like 50
I can't even imagine the amount of New Balances he owns.
Oh, he owns so many New Balances. Yeah.
It's funny too because it's like, you know, that like these other popes, because I looked it up. He's not really pro LGBTQ, and you know these other popes say it so eloquently, like you know. I just don't agree with the lifestyle choices.
Yeah.
This Pope is like, none of the queer shit.
Yeah.
That's how he says it.
That's right.
None of the queer shit.
Yeah, he's coming in there. He's like, all right, enough with this.
Yeah.
He's very much a dad in that way.
But
know?
they can't have sex though, can they?
No, they're not allowed to. I don't think they're allowed to.
How long do you have to be like training to become a Pope?
Well, this guy's like, he's 69. Nice.
Hell yeah.
Which, what does it say? No popes. Wait, just write, can popes have sex? Don't say married.
No.
You can Google that. Can popes have sex? No, popes are not allowed to have sexual relations.
But how long do you have to like be a part of like this, like
Your whole
the
life.
Vatican to like join?
I think that he started out in the minors, obviously.
Of course.
He was being a priest somewhere. To become pope, you must first attend a seminary and become ordained as a priest. Yeah, so you got started at the minors as a priest. So he's
worked his way up.
He was doing church open mics for a while, and then finally he got passed at a few churches. Well, you had your hit video.
Yeah, the Wope.
Woman Pope.
Yeah, and a lot of at first people were like, hell yeah, this is so funny. And people did like it. It got dubbed in different languages. That's how I know it's a hit.
Yeah.
But then I got a lot of people being like, never would we. Oh, what if you guys get your period?
Is that what people said?
Oh yeah, people are like anti-women.
Well, yeah, of course.
But
you're gonna hit.
The robe is red.
But that is.
You would never be able to tell if you got your
That's
period.
right.
No, it's more of like,
right.
What if you got your period and you nuked the Mormons, you know?
Yeah. I just think that it's funny that like the man that is now second in line to God
knows who Dave Portnoy is.
Knows who Dave Portnoy has watched a One Bite video.
He's watched a One Bite video.
There's
no way in hell a man from Chicago who went to Villanova doesn't know who Dave Portnoy is.
Yeah. And also that like the man next to God still has an uncle, has a Facebook uncle.
Well, it's his brother, but yeah.
I know. I'm sorry, you're right. He has a brother. Do you think God has a brother that posts AI images on Facebook and just go? You think God's like up in heaven, like, yeah, I mean, my brother, it's just sad what he's on there.
It's so, and I give him so much.
You can't even like reason with him, you know.
He lives rent free.
Yeah.
In heaven.
I give him everything, you know.
I left him in charge of Israel.
See what's happened with that?
See what's happened with that?
He's doing a horror. You know, I try to get him a job, you know, within the family, trying to get him off his feet.
I was like, hey, take care of the Middle East, buddy.
Yeah, go take care of the Middle East. And he fucked it
much,
up.
There's not even that much going on.
He fucked it up. He wasn't even doing anything. He was just on Facebook posting AOC memes. All right. What is he doing? Come on. Everyone in the entire existence of the universe has a brother that's just on Facebook ranting about
Also,
left.
by the way, not on the phone, on the desktop.
Yeah, he's on. Lou, he's on desktop.
Not a laptop, a desktop.
And also, what I love about Lou is that he's not like trying to like build a following or become anything. He's doing it for the love of the game.
You know what he's kind of?
What?
Azalea Banks.
He is kind of Azalea Banks. Lou is kind of Azalea Banks. I don't know if you saw this, but she's having a feud right now with Bebe.
Bebe Rexha.
Bebe. Bebe.
Don't be talking
Bebe.
shit about my girl like that. Bebe
Rexha. She has a lot of hit songs. Just go look at her. Everyone kind of knows her songs.
33.5 million listeners.
Yeah, she's got a
Pretty
lot.
Good.
She's definitely doing all right. But anyway, she is now she's in a feud right now with Azalea Banks. Azalea Banks and Bebe.
BB.
I can't get it right. I can't get it right.
It's B.
Well, if it were BB, it should be BIBI.
No.
What?
That's how
All right.
BB's spelled.
I guess you're right.
That's literally how BB spelled.
Bebe. Clash in a vicious online feud. You quote unquote. You might want to jump on some type of therapy.
So my thing is like, why not just block her?
Okay. Great point.
Oh, all press is good press.
All press is
Yeah.
good press. So that's why. So if Azalea Banks and BB Rexha relationship were a song, it would be sung by Ariana Grande. We Can't Be Friends.
Okay.
That's a dumb. That was a dumb
this?
intro.
I love who
dumb
wrote
intro.
this.
Who wrote this?
I love how they do this too, where they go the 2 and 2 rapper and the meant to be singer. Why don't they just say the singers? Engaged in a public spat on Monday following Banks' unprovoked critique of Rexha's physical appearance at the 2025 Met Gala.
Damn.
She tweeted, "Sis gives me hormonal birth control implant or something." So she tweeted of a picture of
My
her.
God.
That is a scathing comment.
As
That's
someone on hormonal
horrible.
birth control, that's crazy.
That's crazy to say. And I, by the way, don't know a lot about that stuff, but I know that that is a horrible thing to say.
mean.
Okay.
That's
But
insane.
sis gives me hormonal birth control implant or something. Oh, man. Okay, so Banks wrote on Twitter on Monday evening in response to a photo of Rexha arriving at the annual fundraiser celebration wearing a black Christian soror. I don't know how to say this last name. Some designer.
Soriano?
Yeah. It's giving implano ring she needs removed or depot shot that needs to stop happening.
Holy shit.
Damn.
That's crazy.
It's a crazy thing to say. It's crazy. But honestly, that's what we expect from her. So she's doing her thing. Rexha responded the following morning.
God.
So this is great. This is where it takes a turn. So Rexha responds saying, might want to jump on some therapy type or some type of therapy.
Yeah.
Snarking that the antidepressant Lexapro worked great for me.
That's a good response.
Something that helps me with deep-rooted sadness and chaos you keep projecting. Healing looks good on everyone. Try it. Nice.
Good
Okay,
response.
I think that is a good response.
After sharing her response, Rexha posted again, hoping to draw the back and forth to a close. Okay, I'm going to go and enjoy my day now. Have a good day, everyone. Love you. And
But that is like, we're done posting, right?
yeah, so she's trying to put a button on it.
You can't post again.
Right? In a third post that has since been deleted by Rexha, opened up about weathering constant criticism of her appearance and explained that she has a health condition. I'm so tired of people commenting on my weight. I have PCOS and struggle with infertility, she wrote, referring to a polycystic ovarian syndrome, a hormonal disorder that persists, challenges Rexha. She has been open about in the
only
past.
thing about that is Azalea Banks is right.
Okay, so
Because she's probably on a hormonal thing to stop her cyst.
Okay, so she's a little right, but not nice to
So-
say. Not nice to say.
Not
nice to
really
say.
not okay to say.
No.
Now this is where it gets a little sad. She continued. I got pregnant, it didn't work out, and I've been carrying that pain in silence. I never owed anyone that truth, but maybe now you'll think twice before commenting on anyone's body. Okay.
By
Now
the way,
this-
I want to say too that like BB Rexha looks beautiful at the moment.
she looks beautiful
looks great.
and she's great.
Yeah.
But now this is where things are funny to me, because obviously it's a very sad thing and that's where it should have ended, right?
No.
I think people should drop, like, if you're Azalea Banks, you should be like, oh, she's like actually on that, she's dealing with some stuff, I'm going to stop talking right now.
Especially as another woman.
But no.
Azalea Banks-
Rex's attempts to shut down the conflict was only successful on her end. However, as Banks fired off several lengthy responses on Tuesday, this is the response. You should really get off Lexapro, laughing my ass off. Weight gain is a trademark side effect of Lexapro. Okay, so what I think is funny is that Bebe,
BB.
Rexha.
Are you doing it on purpose?
No, I'm not. maybe the way I like
Chris,
to say
she
it.
lost a baby.
I know. I'm
Get her
not
name
making
right.
fun of her. I literally I keep
She lost a
forgetting.
baby.
A baby.
She lost a baby. She did lose a baby. Man, that's sad. Okay, we're just joking. It's very sad and very real. But what I like is that she's ignoring that part and still just going after the weight gain, ignoring all other information. She's like she's basically saying like I've had infertility issues, and she's just like, bitch, you get fat on that Lexapro. Like,
yeah,
just
it's
ignoring
crazy.
it. Banks wrote in one referring to Bex's original response. Another, she offered to be Rex's support sister if you need it. Honestly, nothing to be ashamed of, because of trust me, the problems that come from SSRIs are a lot worse than anything you feel you are going through now.
Well, first of all, one, it's crazy that she said nothing to be ashamed of, because she was shaming her, first of all.
Oh, she
And then-
started the shaming.
Second of all, like SSRIs, that's worse than what you're going through right now. Like, she's saying that like
that Lexapro is
the
worse than losing a
Lexapro is
child.
serious.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No way
That's
Lexapro is
crazy.
worse than losing
Yeah,
a child.
so she's still doing it. She's still really putting out a lot of drama, and she's doing it well.
Crazy. So anyways, this weekend I did a this Miu Miu event, and it was like, instead of like a fashion show, it was like kind of immersive theater.
It was immersive. I went to it.
And I wanted Chris to come because I thought Chris was gonna come, and I thought Chris was gonna like be giggling, like I thought he was gonna make fun of it. Afterwards, he was like, I really liked it.
Yeah. No, I did. It was, I don't know how to describe it, but like it was almost like an exhibit, but like it was just kind of like an empty dark warehouse filmed with like a bunch of weird stuff going on.
Everyone had their own station.
And like every model was like doing a role. So there was like one that was doing a stand-up comedy routine, right? So that was the first one I saw. There was just a girl like up there doing stand-up comedy. Now, you know, it was, what was kind of weird about this was that like everyone there was just like, ooh, like art. Like they were observing
yeah,
it.
especially the press day was like even more like
Everyone, and so like this girl's doing stand-up comedy, and it's very funny. She's actually doing the stand-up comedy of another funny comedian, Carmen Lynch, and she's doing the routines, and they're like funny routines.
Yeah.
But everyone's just kind of like watching her, you know?
It's like, well, what if he laughed? Can you imagine?
Yeah, and no one laughed. I'm like, it's funny, like, but they all were like treating it like it was an art piece, right?
It was, to be fair, like
It
a
was an art piece.
dystopian.
Yeah, it was a dystopian.
Like there was
world.
someone walking around with like papers that was like disrupt reality.
Yeah.
And like the thing on it, like it was cool. Like they did it in Paris, and then they came and did it here. And like the best part of it is like they had this big curtain so the warehouse was dark, and then they like
It
pulled
would
the
open
curtain
up,
back,
and that was like the weirdest
and they
part.
had fog and lights in the garden, and like the models
There would be models
come
in the garden. Yeah, it was
with
very
their hands up, like as if they were in cages.
Yeah, they would touch hands on both sides of the glass. It was very.
But it was beautiful. That was actually my favorite part.
That was
I
the
think.
best part, but it was very dystopian, very creepy. There'd be models like walking around, like doing weird stuff. There was one girl like making Play-Doh. Then there was one girl her job was just to be asleep on a table.
Which like I wish I had her.
So jealous.
She was just asleep.
So, but here's the deal: is like, so they had like a singer. They had multiple singers. They had an opera singer.
Yeah.
They had like this like kind of pop singer. They had a stand-up comedian. And you know, you guys know I'm very talented. You know, like I sing, I can tap dance.
Yeah.
There was an actor. I can act.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I could play the piano.
You're a multi.
I could do anything. And you know what they had me doing?
Yeah, this is crazy.
They had me packing boxes.
Yeah, Caroline's role was kind of I hate to tell you this, but
No, it was not the worst one.
it was close to the worst.
Oh.
I'm sorry. And you
But
were
I got that pink
and you were
bag.
great on it. You did a great job. But Caroline, all these actresses and models,
But I got to look in the mirror.
you got to look in the mirror. Which was nice.
So basically, like my exhibit was
Yeah.
like, it was based off this short film that was directed by Dakota Fanning, and it was
Mm-hmm.
it was a beautiful film. Like it was about like this girl who like moves into an apartment, and like I imagine New York because it really gave New York.
Yeah.
And like you know this guy came over and like they hooked up. They had a fight. He threw a dish. Someone spilled wine at like this house party, and so basically she like moved into the apartment. She's like setting things up, like she's putting holes in the wall, and then she moves out and she's like looking at the apartment, like the stains on the floor that she had made, the things in the wall,
Yeah.
and it was like so basically that was my role, was like to look around as if this was my apartment, and like, and then I would get up and I'd look in the mirror, and I'd like fix my hair, fix my dress, and then like every once in a while I was allowed to go on a run, which was fun. I'd like run around the exhibit,
Yeah.
and
Your job, okay, so basically your job was just you had to pack boxes for 4 seconds, and then you get up, look in the mirror, do your hair, go back to packing boxes, and you did that for like an hour.
An hour and a half.
Then for an hour and a half, she would pack a few boxes, right? And then get up, look in the mirror,
is,
and then go back to packing boxes.
Yeah, no, the thing is that
there was a girl on a skateboard riding around.
Yeah.
There were people doing fun stuff. There was a girl who got to make Play-Doh. There was a girl. Now this would have been a good job for you. They had a girl who was like a construction worker, and her job was just to shine a light on people as they walk by, right? And another creepy thing about this exhibit was that at some point in time, it became a little hard to determine who was an actor and who was just there to see it, because
there were like models.
There were models that just showed up, and the way that models walk are very. There's just like. They're just like AI.
It was confusing.
They're NPCs.
Even in the show, it was like, is that person in the show?
Yeah. So I was a little confused. Now, how I felt going to this thing, I had a very good experience. I felt like I was in a futuristic environment, and I was coming there, and I was like a detective maybe. Right, I kind of had this whole
I love
fantasy.
that you gave yourself a character.
I gave myself a character. I actually was thinking
awesome.
about. I was actually thinking about like, do I just like start doing stuff and pretend like I'm in this? I was like really thinking about like just like doing some type like just
dance scene.
Yeah, I was gonna. So yeah, they had a giant
like a
dance scene.
It
was very culty, but I like felt I showed up and I was like, oh, I feel like I'm like watching a bunch of like women stuck in some type of cult, you know, or like a sex slavery type thing.
Oh.
You know?
Okay.
Like I kind of felt, and I was there to like free you.
Oh.
But then I just ended up taking a video of her and leaving.
Anyways, but I what was I gonna say? So people, since I had a mirror in my exhibit, people would come up and start taking mirror selfies because everyone there is vain. So every time they took a mirror selfie, I would literally walk in front of them and check my makeup.
Yeah.
And some people thought it was like, some people kind of got like a little pissy with me, but other people like thought it was kind of funny that I did that.
Yeah, that's right. And it was honestly the models that there was like one girl would like walk around like she kind of looked like Marilyn Monroe a little bit.
She was supposed to be Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah, so she would just walk around and she'd like bump into people.
She'd bump into people, and then every once in a while, when the light would shine on her, she'd faint. Did you get to see her faint?
Oh, I didn't get to see her faint.
I know. I was hoping you would get to see her.
Damn.
Faint. She was awesome.
There were so many little things about this thing that were really cool. Now there was Caroline alluded to this, but there was a dance number in the middle of it.
Yeah.
That, as she described, went on a little too long, and it did.
It was kind of cool. So she sings.
There's a singer. There's
a cappella.
Yeah.
She sings Italian,
and then
she
they start
pulls
playing.
us all in. We all start dancing. We all start clapping, and then like club music starts playing, and it's kind of weird the way it goes from Italian music to club music, and then we all start dancing. And I actually think it's really cool. But then it just goes on a little too.
It goes on a little too long. I remember like filming you and thinking, all right, we're like 2 or 3 minutes into this thing. Can we wrap this up? I was like, go back to packing boxes. That was more interesting.
Give her a break. But so I really enjoyed everyone. It was like probably like my favorite modeling job ever. Like I had a lot of fun. I loved everyone. But what I will say is like I was with models.
Yeah.
And sometimes I forget that they're not normal people.
Yeah.
And I tried to crack a few jokes. Specifically, I was talking, one person there like identified as they, them.
Yeah.
And the other one was like this gorgeous black girl.
Mm-hmm.
And we were talking about our cats, and she was showing me AI pictures of her cats. And I was like, slay, here's my AI pictures of my cat.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I used to hate cats. And she was like, oh my God, I can't believe you used to hate cats. And I was like sitting with they and she, and I was like, yeah. And I was like, yeah, I used to hate cats, but I also used to be like homophobic and racist. Silence. Like no one even was like it was literally like, yeah, but I also used to be homophobic.
So do joke to me, I'll react. Go ahead.
Yeah, but I also used to be homophobic and racist. Exactly. Exactly. I couldn't.
And there was silence. And did you go, did you follow up?
I was just like.
You just sat in it? You were like.
Yeah, I'm over it.
That's good professionalism.
I'm over it.
And then, but so you're trying to be funny and they just were not.
Yeah, I told a lot of people about
You're
the
bombing.
trial. Well, then I went to the hairstylist people and I told them, and they thought it was really funny. They do not make it easy to get concert tickets these days. You have to get in a queue, you have to get in a line, you have to fight for your life just to get a ticket. And then by the time you get through the queue, all of the tickets are gone. Lucky for me, I use Game Time, the official ticketing partner of Barstool Sports. Game Time makes it easier and faster to get tickets. Tickets actually go down the closer to showtime, which is amazing, especially if you're kind of like a procrastinator like me. So I was looking for Katy Perry tickets and I saw amazing deals. So let me show you right now what you're going to do. You're going to get the Game Time app. You're going to go to Game Time Picks. And oh my goodness, amazing Katy Perry. Literally pit tickets for $211. That's amazing. Okay, so what are you waiting for? I'm going to buy these Katy Perry tickets now. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download Game Time app, create an account, and use code NOTHANKS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code NOTHANKS. That's all caps for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. What time is it? Game time. So they gave me this pink wig to wear, and people were like, you should dye your hair pink, you should dye your hair pink. And I was like, I would dye my hair pink, but then I have to join a polycule.
Yeah.
Silence.
And
I made this one to the they them.
Oh, you made that to
I
the
made
they,
that
them?
one to the they them. But that's on me. And that's on me. And that's on me. That's on me. That one's on me.
Yeah.
You know, I should
mean,
know better.
Funny, like laugh. Can you take a joke?
And also, like, they were a good hang. They were like a really good hang.
Yeah.
So then I was like, I was like, we started talking, and I was like, yeah, I do comedy. And they were like, oh, are you the bitch that got canceled for your joke about bisexuality? Now, to be fair, the girl was like a blonde girl who looked like me.
Okay.
But I was like, you just assuming that I got canceled.
I know. It's funny how they're like, oh, you must be getting
You
dragged.
must be the girl who's like getting dragged online.
Because she was like, I would drag you.
Yeah, because you're not funny.
Yeah, you're not funny.
And I can't wait to make a TikTok about you as soon as I leave.
I'm sure, honestly, Caroline, there's probably a few TikTok circulating right now about there was this girl there who like thought she was hilarious, and she was just like, I used to be homophobic, and I'm like, girl, what?
But then there were people who got me. Like there was like, I have like my friend Ellery, like my new bestie. Everyone goes stream her music. Like literally the most talented girl ever. Like usually if someone gets something singing over me, I'm like, they're not even a good singer. Her, take it.
She's a good singer.
It's you. It's yours, girl. It's yours, bitch.
Yeah.
So, and also because I really like her. But then I would go and talk to the hairstylists. And first of all, I told them all about the Karen Reed trial. Don't you worry.
Yeah.
And then,
which I don't think we've really talked about on here.
But we will.
We might need to have our own episode on
We'll have a whole episode on the Karen Reed
Yeah.
trial. But then I told them like my jokes, and they were, and like these people were probably in polycules. Like that's how they looked, and they were laughing. Like they thought it was so funny. So everyone had a double cast. My double cast girl,
an understudy, if you will.
Yeah, I don't even want to say that because she like went on, like she worked.
They were the second shift.
They were the second shift, and like they got one less show than us, and so like the thing about it is like I felt like really good about myself because I got into the.
You were the main.
Yeah, I was in the main one, but then Miu Miu only posted photos of that cast, and at first I thought it was me, and I was like, I look unbelievable. Like I put on my story, I was like, I can't even believe I look so good. Like, is there a filter on my face?
Yeah.
Then I realized it was the other girl.
Oh my god!
And I literally had to delete it off my story when I realized. And the only reason,
put a
girl,
picture of
I
another
thought
girl
it was but she was wearing like the way, like she looked like me.
Can you show me this photo,
girl?
please?
She looks like me.
Yeah, send it in the group
we're gonna
chat.
pop
I want to
this
see.
up on the screen.
She looked like me.
Can we do that?
If I was more beautiful.
Oh, don't say that.
I literally put it on my story. I was
I'm
like,
so excited.
I can't believe I look so freak, and I cropped.
How long was it on your story of this other girl?
Maybe 5 minutes. Because I was like, why do I
probably
look
got a few
so
hundred views on that.
Good.
Yeah,
I was like, why do I look so beautiful?
I can't believe you thought that was you. I got to be honest.
I mean, yeah, she has like a completely different nose than you.
Yeah, a better nose,
she's got,
if you will.
No,
well, a different nose.
I prefer you.
Well, you
Well,
have
I mean-
to.
I prefer you.
You girl, you better.
If Caroline, if you were murdered, they would hire this girl to like reenact you before you get murdered.
on the
Like,
non-union
it'd be
TV
like,
shows.
Caroline
Yes.
went out just to get a coffee. Little did she know it would be the last chai latte she'd ever have.
The last dirty chai oat milk latte.
And then you'd be like, hi, can I get a dirty chai oat milk? And then you get hit by whatever. Or I don't know how you'd get murdered, but
no, she was a sweetheart, and at first, like, she's like, younger than me,
Yeah.
and she's very silly, and at first I was like, we're just like different, like,
Yeah.
and we were like the first day we spent the whole day together, and I was like trying to find like things to talk about, so I was like, do you have a boyfriend? And she was like, yeah, I hate my boyfriend, and I was like,
nice.
Honestly, I've talked about this maybe a lot, but I dated someone I hated too.
Yeah.
And I feel bad about that because we were friends before we started dating. And like, I don't know if he has admitted this to himself, but like when we started dating, we hated each other and we just like kept it going.
Yeah.
But it's sad because we were friends before. He definitely hated me.
Yeah, but like that.
And that made me hate him.
Sometimes hatred
Totally.
like keeps you locked in a little bit.
This bitch hated me. And then he would like invite me to like on family vacations, and he would literally be like, why is she here? So she's a boyfriend she hates. And I was like, girl, been there. Tell me, why do you hate him?
Okay.
And she was like, well, it all has to do with my brother. And I was like, what happened? And she goes, well, my brother's a scammer.
Oh.
I said, say more.
Scammer?
She was like, my brother's a scammer, and basically my boyfriend's friend like went after him on Instagram, and so my brother's pissed off at him.
Okay, what is he scamming though? What's his scam?
I'm so happy you asked, because of course I asked too. And she goes, you know, like tons of stuff. Like he sold camels in Dubai.
He sold camels in Dubai?
Because I was thinking like, oh, he's buying concert tickets and reselling them.
Yeah, I'm thinking
like that's what I'm thinking.
I'm thinking he's like
Fake
selling like
Adidas.
fake
Yeah.
sports memorabilia or like
She
maybe
said it
even,
started with credit card fraud.
Okay. Entry level stuff. Okay, that's
How do you get up to
camels.
in
You know what's funny?
Dubai?
You would think you would start with camels and then get to credit card fraud, because like through the natural progression of trade in the history of humanity, camels were credit cards at one point, right? And now we have credit cards.
Well, I was thinking like a GoFundMe, like a fake GoFundMe.
Yeah.
So I was like, can you tell me more about the camels in Dubai? And of course she didn't. Instead, she was like, well, basically what happened is like my brother originally like sold drugs, and he had like a trap house, and like it was cool because I lived there. This girl
Totally.
is so young.
And it was cool because I lived there.
This girl is so young.
My friend used to live in a trap house, and it was cool.
It is cool.
Because, of course, she didn't live at home.
Yeah.
And we all lived at home. So we
Yeah.
were like, that rocks.
She's from Miami,
Oh, okay.
which makes a lot of sense.
all these,
but she
like-
doesn't look like she's from
Here's
Miami.
the thing. All these pieces are being uncovered.
She doesn't have a BBL.
She has
Yeah.
a BBL?
She doesn't have a BBL.
All
AKA
these,
she doesn't
we're
look like she's
uncovering
from
all
Miami.
these little pieces of her life. None of them go together.
No, then none of them go to.
No-
And by the way,
camels in Dubai,
I kept trying.
Miami.
I kept trying to get her to connect
Trap
them.
house.
I
Like,
literally said to other people, I was like, I feel bad that I'm in your cast and you don't get to hang out with her because she's
Yeah.
so interesting.
Yeah, and you wanted more information.
And I want her on the pod.
So is that all the information we got?
Kinda, because we only got to spend one day together because we didn't work together.
You know what they should have done?
her on the pod.
Instead of doing this,
Yeah, they should have given her a microphone.
they should have had her life be reenacted in this thing.
No.
Okay.
And not on top of that,
should
she's
have been-
beautiful.
She should have been walking around with camels, right? And she should have been.
Oh wait, I forgot the best part.
What?
I was like, well, tell me more. Like, so like, what does your boyfriend do now? And she was like, well, he was pronounced dead by the government.
What?
What?
And I was like, but is he dead? And she was like, no.
What do you mean?
And I was like, well, how did he get?
How did he fake his death?
She was like, it was pretty complicated. And I said, well,
Obviously.
I was like, can he travel? And she was like, well, he has a fake ID.
How did he fake his death?
I know.
You don't know?
I tried to get it out of her, Chris.
I can't
tried.
believe she's like
You didn't
telling
ask
a
her point blank.
stranger
How
all
did your
this.
boyfriend fake his death
No,
to the
her
government?
brother, the scammer.
Sorry, brother. How did your brother fake his death? No response?
She said it's really complicated. It was like a whole thing. And she was like, I'm not really sure of all the details. And I said, well, like, how
Just a single detail. Just how does
No,
the government...
Chris, I tried.
I would be like, how does the
I
government think
tried.
he died? Drowning?
But we were...
Plane crash?
No, we were in a show, so it was like you only got a little bit to talk, and then we had to go do something. We had to go stare in the mirror.
Oh my God.
So much happened this weekend. I also yelled at a homeless woman.
Yeah.
Julia, what's Julia's last name?
The Cesara.
Yes, Julia is an amazing comedian. I bet everyone listening to this pod knows who she is because she's like more successful than me. But she's wonderful. She asked me to be in a sketch. Everyone go watch it. It's about the West Village girls, which we also need to talk about. And we're filming on the street, and this woman who, like, it's up in the air if she was homeless. Like, she didn't own a hairbrush, but, like, she had a bike, and, like, her clothes looked fine.
Yeah.
She was like, get out of here. Leave. No one wants you here.
Because you were filming in the West Village.
Because we were filming in
Yeah.
the West Village. And we were, like, dressed in, like, workout attire as our role.
Oh, they literally thought you... This is funny because they thought you were the problem, but you were parodying the problem.
We were making fun of the problem.
Okay.
And by the way, like, Julia lives in Queens. I live in Brooklyn. First of all, there's nothing wrong with living in the West Village.
No, there is nothing wrong with that.
If
There was
you
an
can
and by the way,
afford it,
what we're kind of referring to is that there was an article in the, what was it, the New Yorker? Or
it's probably New Yorker.
Yeah, like an article basically being like...
Shitting on West Village girls.
It was like, must be nice to be a West Village girl.
Which, by the way, when I was walking around
Yeah,
the
it must
cut,
be nice to be a West Village girl from the cut. So they just basically wrote this article shitting on all these
Girls.
young girls that are living in the West Village, which good for them living like in the city. Good for you. And like, yeah, are some of them probably nepoed the fuck up or rich
Of
parents?
course.
But
How else
those
can you
people
afford it?
Are everywhere.
And by the way, like, those people are everywhere. And also, like, okay, I was walking around in
And
the
we
West
can't
Village.
even fucking read it
And you
because we
can't,
gotta pay $4 a
So
month.
I can't even read this.
Yeah. Oh, who's the real problem? The cut.
Yeah.
I can't fucking be educated. I gotta pay you money to learn fuck the cut. All
yeah,
right?
I want to say right now, fuck the cut. As a girl who lived in Harlem.
Yeah.
I'm going through all my leases.
Go through all
I
your
lived
leases.
in Central Harlem, but it was basically East Harlem, so pray
Yeah.
for me. There was a shooting outside of the Whole Foods. I was 23 years old.
Living in Harlem.
And then I lived there again. My rent was $7.80. There was a cockroach.
Nice.
One time I woke up, there was poop on my bed.
Oh.
From what?
I think it was like a really big rat or something. I don't know. It was terrible. Girl, it was horrible. It was horrible.
Caroline, that's awful.
That's really bad.
I lived in a shitty Harlem.
Yeah.
Another Harlem apartment that actually wasn't bad. The only problem is that my window faced like an
brick wall.
apartment.
Yeah.
And we had like a mice problem. But I liked that apartment, even though I didn't want to live in Harlem anymore and COVID was happening, and I tried to get them to move to the East Village because COVID prices. But one time I accidentally slept with the gas stove on and I almost died. And my next door, this is a story for a different time. My next door neighbor called the police and saved my life. I slept in an apartment with a gas stove.
Caroline
for 12
almost
hours.
got blowed up.
Yeah, I woke up to the fire department breaking down my door. I was 24. I was depressed. But anyway, so then, but my psychiatrist today, can you take a joke? My psychiatrist today, I'm sorry.
No,
You're
go.
mad at me.
No, I'm not mad at you. I actually like this bit.
Today I had, we have to go to the West Village. We have to go to the West
We're
Village.
all
girl.
over the place.
Oh my god.
So today, I know, poor Genevieve. Today I had a psychiatrist
I can
appointment.
tell when it got into your bloodstream. I can tell
The Adderall?
when the pill hit your bloodstream was only about 3 minutes ago. And then you were like, yeah, blah, blah, and then you went,
You're listening. You're listening to No Thanks We're Good.
thanks, we're good. Good. And by the way, that's
No
the noise.
thanks,
That's the
we're
Adderall. That's the
good.
Adderall hitting. By the way, that was the noise.
No, and also by the way, of course I'm parodying the Call Her Daddy intro. Everyone
Yeah.
knew.
Call her no thanks.
Call her no thanks. You call him no thanks.
Call her no thanks.
You call him the American Pope. Call her the American Pope. Anyways, I had a psychiatrist appointment today to get my pills. Obviously, I'm on them.
Yeah.
And I asked to go down on them last month, and I did go down on them. And she was like, how do you feel? She was really stressed out about me going down on them. And I'm like, bitch, chill. And she was like, are you okay? Like, are you okay that you went down on them? Like, how do you feel? And I'm like, yeah, I feel great. And she was like, she didn't say, have you been crying? She doesn't say, are you having dark thoughts? She said, well, can you take a joke?
Now, when you told this to me, I thought that she was gonna make fun of you. I thought she was gonna say, I thought she was gonna be like, well, can you take a joke? And you'd be like, yeah. She'd be like, all right, well then you look like a fucking like tweaking little whatever, you know? But she said her medical examination included the phrase, can you take a joke? As opposed to saying, how are you with your emotions?
Which like leads me to be like, what are other questions a psychologist should be saying to other people? Like,
can you take a joke?
Not like, are you having dark thoughts? Have you tweeted at Bebe Rexha this month?
Have you tweeted at Bebe Rexha?
Yeah.
Are you killing the vibe? Are you tweeting AI images on Facebook?
Hey, be so for real with me. How many memes about trans kids have you made this month?
How many?
Yeah, like that's like the questions. And by the way, I do think that's like a fair question for a psychiatrist to ask.
Yeah, that is fair. Those should be baked into the routine of what they need to ask.
How many tweets about Rachel Zegler have you posted?
They give you
How many
medication.
tweets about Rachel Zegler have you posted this month?
Anyway, West Village girls.
Anyways, West Village. So we were walking around the West Village yesterday, and first of all, and I actually I'm torn by this article. I'm not a West Village girl.
We also have to address, before you go into that, we got to get back to how you ended up screaming at a homeless woman.
We'll get there.
Yeah.
I'll say that first. So
Okay.
anyways, we're filming this thing, and this like girl, and I don't think she was homeless. Julia thought she was homeless. She's like, get out of here, leave. We happen to be outside of my favorite restaurant, Meme Mediterranean.
Yeah. You used to work there.
I used to work there.
Yeah.
And I ate the food every single night when I worked there. I worked there for a year.
Mm-hmm.
And then they said you have to work on Christmas, and I said, it must be nice being a West Village girl. I'm leaving.
It must be nice.
But I want to say really quick, I'm not a West Village girl. I lived in the East Village when it was really cheap during COVID. I lived there for a year, but I've always lived, except for now, in a dangerous neighborhood.
Yeah. No, since I've known you, every one of your apartments kind of was a little like, eh.
Like Chris was like, I don't think we should be here.
No,
and I'm like, but this is my apartment.
The second apartment that you had was real sketchy.
You would have never survived my first apartment. So
But that's not the
every
Botox.
store, there's that store is Alice in the West Village. It's like very expensive. Every store, every coffee shop had those little boards out that said, "It must be nice to be a West Village girl," which I liked. I said that eats. Like, that's funny.
Wait, in like a way to promote it? In a way to like we stand with them? Or
like in a
way,
very cheeky,
in a cheeky way?
referencing.
Like, okay, what you're talking about are the chalk or felt boards where they're like they'll be like, beers are better than boardrooms or something stupid.
Yes, like when you're walking.
So they all wrote that? It must be nice to be a West Village girl? Okay, that's kind of cute.
I thought it was funny. Because it's very much like, fuck you guys. You know what I mean? So the Cut makes this article where they talk about the West Village girls, and basically they're ruining the West Village. West Village is a place, Stonewall Inn is in the West Village. It's really it's really the gayborhood, but then the gays moved to Chelsea.
Yeah.
Because no one can afford the West Village.
But also like this whole thing about like ruining a neighborhood. Okay, what belongs there? What is the original thing that is meant to live there? Obviously,
Native Americans.
Yeah, like what?
Native Americans.
If you want to go all the way back and be like, they ruined it. Like, imagine the Native Americans wrote an article. Must be nice to be a Dutch settler. Yeah. Must be nice to be a Dutch settler.
By the way, that's a sketch.
Must be nice to be a Dutch settler. These Dutch settlers
with your fucking tea bags.
Yeah, well, that was the British, but yeah.
Oh. Have you even seen Hamilton?
With their pretzels and their ships
and
their giant
feather
canoes.
ink pens.
Yeah. Must be nice to have a musket and a giant hat,
Yeah.
ruining our neighborhood.
Yeah.
Like, where does it end?
So, but basically the thing that really pisses, I think, I personally, what pisses me off, first of all, I'm not a West Village girl. It's like, making fun of the yoga, solid core, matcha girls, brunch. They were like, basically they move here, they take all
You mean keeping every store there in business?
Yeah.
Who's gonna fucking shop at those stores if there aren't a bunch of people that would buy that? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, no, I know. And like basically the point is these girls move here, they take all the marketing jobs. But by the way,
they take all the
marketing jobs.
Because they're good at social media. I'm sorry, bitches. If like that's my thing. And I also hate that this is I never finished my story about yelling at the homeless woman.
It's fine. You yelled at a homeless woman because she said, "Get out of here." We understand.
She started yelling at me, "Get out of here! Get out of here!" And I was outside of Meme.
By the way, she wasn't homeless. She was the CEO of a marketing company.
Probably. By the way, also a white woman. And we're outside of Meme, and I said, "Oh, do you own this block?" And she was like, "Yeah, I fucking own this restaurant." And I said, "Jacob owns this restaurant."
Because you know who owns the restaurant.
Then Julia, sweetheart Julia, who just moved to New York 6 months ago, is like, "Caroline, stop." And I'm like, "Oh, am I making a fool of myself?"
Caroline, you know what I would have said?
That's crazy.
I would turn to Julia and I'd say, "Keep rolling." All right? This is the video now. This is the sketch. It's me yelling at this homeless woman.
And my outdoor voices matching set and holding my matcha and my hookahs.
That's the video. But can I ask questions?
Wait.
I just have a question about the homeless woman.
Yeah.
Like, was she actually homeless? Like,
no.
what was she wearing?
She did. The only thing that was very homeless of her was her attitude and her fucking hair.
Oh my God.
Okay, so she's definitely not homeless.
Her clothes were normal. She had a bike. She was with 2 other people. It was just.
She was lying through the Lululemon. I used to work in marketing. Let me tell you something.
Red Bull.
There's not going to be a lot of marketing jobs. All right. A lot of the marketing stuff, like the creation of images or whatever, or even the copywriting, that's all going to go to AI in the next 5 years. So there's only going to be like 7 marketing jobs left for these girls to do. Also,
well, it's fine. Their parents pay their rent.
Yeah, their parents pay the rent. But the West Village girl, like who are they taking the vibe from? The older, rich assholes that live in the West Village?
Yeah.
The gays are still there. A little bit.
First of all, when me and Julia were walking around cosplaying as West Village girls, most of my thoughts were, I'm having a lot of fun. This would be amazing. Yeah, it would be amazing. Like to not, and I know what you're thinking. Like, I'm a white woman who moved to New York, even though I don't live in the West Village. I'm this, but the idea of what they're complaining about is that these women move to the West Village, they take up all the jobs, they rise up, they get the rent higher, they make
everything
and
nice,
then they leave.
Make it more expensive.
Yeah. And then they get married and leave. And so basically
they'll be replaced by other ones.
And so this article was saying, like, they don't add anything. They're not artists. They don't stay here. They're not a part of the culture. The song New York, New York is about people moving to New York. It's not about people who live in New York.
Yeah.
So when people are like, New York, it's like start spreading the news I'm leaving today. Like that's about
It's about people
me.
coming to New York.
That's about me.
Yeah, it's about the people coming. I mean, I think it was written for like the people on the boats, but
Yeah,
well, you came by a Delta flight, and that's fine.
Well, it was American. I didn't have
It was
money
American.
then.
It was
I didn't have
American.
money then.
Yeah,
So-
Poverty Airlines is like they call it.
Yeah, I didn't have money then.
Yeah.
But basically, like the idea is like these people aren't artists. They don't like add to the culture, and then they leave. But it doesn't talk at all about the finance bros.
That's right, because for every West Village girl, there is probably 2 to 3 finance bros that are attracted to them.
That move here, they
Yeah.
go. And by the way, I didn't know this. I didn't know
Yeah.
this until I dated someone. You guys know business school is fake?
Oh, I went to it.
Yeah,
No,
no,
the
it
masters.
is.
The master's
Oh,
program.
I didn't get master's, but I got a business degree.
So basically, what happens is like business jobs and like finance jobs are all about
It's just like
networking.
I was about to say,
so
it's a
you
networking
go
event.
to Columbia, where you're like, oh my god, you're going to Columbia. Wow, you're so smart. That must be so
Yeah, and
expensive.
you just meet
You go there
people.
and you party and you travel for
And
2
you
years.
meet people and you do coke with people, and then those people you do coke with get you a job at their dad's company.
Exactly.
That's what business school is for. So, but yeah, and those guys are also living in the West Village. I mean, I know a bunch of guys live in the West Village now that make a lot of money.
And we don't talk
But
about them at
We don't
all.
talk about them, and they're probably worse for the environment. Like, these girls are good because they're not polluting, and they're probably nice, and they're doing yoga, and they're supporting a lot of the businesses there. But the guys there,
By the way, they love gay culture. They're going to the drag shows, and that's what they're complaining about.
Exactly. They're going to the drag shows. They're going to the dog parks, okay? You know, whatever. The guys are just ruining. They're just going to the bodega and buying a 12 rack and then drinking it and then polluting the streets by throwing it somewhere and then vomiting on the sidewalk and buying $1 a slice pizza.
Yeah, and we're
doing
not talking.
coke and buying drugs and
It must be nice to be a
West Village
bro.
yeah. So yeah, The Cut. Why don't you go fucking write an article about that?
This was-
Assholes.
yeah.
And make your articles free if you're gonna write an article that's saying something. All right. Lazy assholes.
Truth to
Lazy?
power.
Hey, go get a job. The Cut.
Yeah, The Cut. Fuck off.
Go get a fucking. Go sell some merch. All right.
I didn't even know the cut still existed.
Yeah. Hey, what is The Cut? The Cut of
You guys
what?
want to know what? I actually have a subscription to The Cut because I bought it to read the
What?
article that Ethan Slater's ex-wife wrote.
Oh, can we log into it then?
Yeah, I don't know the username. I can't figure out how to cancel it.
Oh,
Oh,
really?
God.
You can't get in? That would have been nice.
How
to
much
get.
money is the subscription?
It was like $6.
a month.
That's
I
a
think so,
lot.
yeah. An artist I love is Katy Perry.
Really?
You need to remember all the work she did before this. Katy Perry. Do you know the song "The One That Got Away"?
Yeah. Summer
do
after
love
high
that
school.
song.
We
First met. We used to make out in our Mustang to Radiohead.
Yeah.
And on our 18th birthday, we got matching tattoos.
Tattoos.
Now, Genevieve, do you know who that song's about? Don't say if you know who that song's about.
Okay.
It's about another famous singer. Do you know who it's about?
Singer.
It's another famous singer.
Let me think.
Think about the lyrics of that song. I was June and you're Johnny Cash, and everyone without the other. We made a pact, and sometimes when I miss you, I put those records on. We used to steal our parents' liquor and run to the roof, talk about our futures like we had a clue. Never thought that one day I'd be losing you.
What does this singer do now? Are they in a band?
No. But I want you to picture who that singer is. Like in your head, like when I hear that song, I kind of picture like a Harry Styles.
I thought it was gonna be John Mayer for a second, but I
Yeah,
realized that.
yeah, no, exactly. I picture
Yeah.
like a rock and roll. We got matching tattoo. Someone said you got your tattoo removed. Saw you downtown singing the blues. Like I think of like a sexy
Yeah.
leather jacket Mustang.
Uh-huh.
She has publicly said the song is about this person, and this person has publicly said it's about him too.
Who?
Just give me one guess. John Mayer.
Pitbull.
I said John Mayer, but maybe one of the Jonas Brothers. I don't know. I can't think of someone
What?
that age. I can't think of someone that would be match her age.
Chris.
What?
It's about Josh Groban.
Josh
What?
Groban.
Josh Groban, kill yourself.
Josh Groban.
It's about you raise me up so I can walk on water. That's who it's about.
Chris didn't like that.
You raise me up. That's who that song's about.
That's insane. So it's about Josh. It's always about, by the way, it's always about the weirdest guy. Remember Alanis Morissette wrote a song
About Joey from Full House.
about
Cut it
Joey
out.
from Full House.
Cut it. You know that song? Does she go down on you in a theater?
That's
Is
about
she perverted like me? And would she have your babies? I bet she'd make her. Or do you think about her when you fuck her? Do you know that song?
that song.
Because the love that we gave
Doesn't
wasn't
matter.
able
Doesn't
to
matter.
make it.
People know that song.
It's about Joey from Full House.
Is that the guy who's like,
Crazy.
cut it out? Yeah, that guy. So yeah, when you hear a song that's like gut wrenching and emotional, it's
When you hear a song about
it's about a goofball.
When you hear about like a sexy we're fucking in the car.
Yeah.
Where you fingered me with a gun.
Yeah.
It's about the craziest.
Ned Flanders like motherfucker. Yeah. That's insane. I can't believe. I almost thought it was about like Russell Brand type person.
Well,
I know she married him. I know it wouldn't have been him, but I thought it'd be like you said, like a muscular kind of long haired guy who like rode a motorcycle. Did they like talk about riding motorcycles or something in that? We make out in your Mustang. Oh,
To Radiohead.
He had a Mustang.
To Radiohead.
He had a Mustang. Josh Groban.
Josh Groban?
He looks like
Josh Groban was a musical theater major. Do you know that?
Josh Groban drives a Prius. All right, he's not having a Mustang. All right, that's insane.
Josh Groban has a slug bug. Like,
Yeah, he has a Volkswagen Beetle.
yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Or a Mini Cooper.
Tattoo. He's afraid of needles. He can't get shots without like
Exactly.
holding the
Josh Groban
nurse's
faint.
hand.
Yeah.
Exactly.
He needs
That's
them to like
crazy.
put on a cartoon
He's
on the
gluten-free.
TV.
Yeah, he's got celiac disease.
He doesn't even eat steak.
And he's lactose intolerant.
He's lactose intolerant.
I bet Josh Groban's never even said a slur.
No, not even by accident. Yeah.
Gosh darn it.
Not even one of those like old ones that they would use in like the 1800s that no one really knows what it means anymore. You know what I mean? No,
Honestly, Josh Groban's a West Village girl.
Josh Groban is a West Village girl. That's right.
He
Man,
goes to bed at 8 p.m.
Katy Perry, R.I.P.
No, he can't watch The Last of Us. It's too gory.
We have to go see her on tour though, because we love Katy Perry though.
Yeah, and use
we
Game
do support
Time.
her. We do support her. We support Katy Perry. Her tour looks crazy. The
Looks
videos
really
coming out are
weird.
really. Looks like she's winging it, which I love. She really looks like she's just kind of like
She's riffing.
she's like up there. Like, did you see how she was running around the catwalk? She was like, she gets a lifetime pass for Teenage Dream the album.
And also, I hope you hang yourself from your H&M scarf while jacking off listening to Mozart. You bitch and moan about the rain.
And that's the song "You're So Gay" on her first album, which is the song that you and I, when we go to the Katy Perry concert, we're going to make a poster that says "You're So Gay, please play."
Yes.
Right? Because she is taking requests from the audience.
Yes.
Which is a great thing. So we're going to get that song played. It hasn't been played God knows how long.
I am
Probably 15 years.
dying to hear that song.
I want to hear it live.
Wait, have you guys seen what's that song?
You
of
don't
hers?
eat meat or drive electrical
Cars.
That song's about Josh Groban.
It might be.
You don't eat meat and you drive an electrical car.
cars. In the Mozart line. You wear SPF 45
Just
to
to
stay
stay
alive.
alive.
Which, by the way, I kind of like, girl, you gotta wear
Well,
sunscreen.
yeah, you gotta be
wear
careful.
sunscreen.
It's
What do
Josh
let's
Groban. He
not
burns
get on.
easily.
Let's not get on him that bad.
Please.
All right, that's a necessity. I'm gonna cancel her for that.
Yeah.
She's pro skin cancer. That's my problem with Katy Perry.
Katy.
I'm gonna go after her being pro skin cancer. But no, we love her.
We love her. That's my favorite song. Thank you guys so much for listening. We love you so much. I'm just going to read some dates off, okay?
Okay.
The 29th, Chicago, The Den, please come. May 30th, Toronto, The Royal, please come. I believe Chris will be with me in both. June 7th, Bottle Rockets, Pittsburgh. June 8th, City Winery in Philly. June 19th, Minneapolis, Dudley Riggs. June 21st, Milwaukee, Vivarium. And June 22nd, The Magic Stick in Detroit.
Yeah, I also have dates too. I am headlining on Long Island June 13th and 14th at Brokerage Comedy Club. I'm also going to be in LA on June 26th at the Hollywood Improv.
Wonderful.
And I'm also doing Austin and Boston. Wait, let me just make sure the dates are right.
Happy late Mother's Day.
Oh yes, happy late Mother's Day. Caroline's mom's coming to the city, and my mom's gonna
My
come
mom's
to the
coming to the
city.
city. I'm sure we'll have a lot to say. They're going to hang out. So
They're
we'll
gonna
talk.
hang out. Maybe we should have them on the pod. Who knows? Sorry.
Maybe.
July 17th, Cap City in Austin, and then I believe Friday, July 25th, I'm gonna be in Boston doing a show.
Yeah.
So come see us.
Punch Up. Also the link
Also,
in the bio.
Comment anywhere you are allowed to comment on this thing.
You love this pod. Please rate, comment every
Share,
time.
subscribe.
We love you.
Yeah. See you next week.